I used to run from God every time things got hard, but this time I made a decision that no matter what, I'm going to stay close. And maybe you can relate to that. I gave my life to Christ in 2015, but I can tell you that between then and now, there have been so many seasons of my life where I have backslid. There have been so many seasons of my life where I've done things that were not Christ-like. There have been so many seasons of my life where I fed my flesh because I was disappointed. I was depressed. I was anxious. I wasn't content. I wasn't satisfied. I was angry at God. I went through a season for about a year of my life, 8 months to be exact, where I legitimately would tell God to his face, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I trust you to be who you are to everybody else, but not for me. Not for me, because you've clearly proven that you're not trustworthy for me, that I cannot put my trust in you because I did what you told me to do and you left me in pain. You left me abandoned. You left me hurt. And those were my authentic feelings. And that took me on a crazy journey because a lot of people out here think that they believe in God. They think that they know Christ. They think they're in close proximity and relationship with Jesus. But the truth is they're not. They're not. And the reason why they're not is because their faith has yet to be tested. You don't truly know where you stand with God until something that you really want to happen, that you thought you were entitled to, that you thought was yours, doesn't go your way. Or until you do something God tells you to do and bad comes from it. See, a lot of times we think that just because we're obedient that things are going to work out, but that's not always the case. Sometimes God gives us direction just to test us, just to put us in a position to be in the fire, to see how we respond, to allow us to see ourselves, and ultimately to push us closer to him. But that's the thing. Oftentimes we don't let the pain push us closer to him. We allow the pain to push us further away. And that's exactly what the enemy wants. So let me tell you a quick little story. There's a man named Remy who made a decision at the beginning of this year who said, you know what? I will never let anything else get between me and God from this day forth. I don't care how much longer it takes before I find my wife. I don't care how much longer it takes before I'm where I think I should be financially and successful. I don't care how much longer it takes before certain elements of my body are healed. I don't care how many more prayers I don't feel get answered. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to pray. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to read my Bible. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to read my devotional. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to watch a sermon. I'm going to always be doing something daily to stay close to my Father in heaven, whether I feel like he's good or whether I don't, whether I feel like he's there for me or whether I don't. Whether I feel like what his word says is true or whether I don't. Because all I have come to find out is that anytime I trust my emotions, when I am disappointed, when I feel despair, when I feel depression, when I feel like things are not going my way, I've never seen it work in my favor. There's never been a season in my life that I decided to put distance between me and God and it worked out and things got better. Or maybe I had a fun time. Maybe my flesh enjoyed itself. But what was the consequence? What was the price that came with? What was on the other side of that? Sometimes you got to get to the point where you get tired of taking 20 steps forward and 40 steps back. Because that's what it is, right? It'll take you a full month to take 20 steps forward. And in one moment, one bad decision, you'll take 40 steps back. It's just how it is. And so I reached a point at the beginning of this year where I said, you know what? I'm no longer going to let my sin, my struggles, my challenges push me away from staying close to God. See, one of the biggest lies that the enemy will tell you is that God does not want anything to do with you because of some decision that you made. Oh, you went and smoked that. Oh, you went and got drunk. Oh, you went and slept with so-and-so. Oh, you went and masturbated. Oh, you went, whatever it is. Whatever it is that you know you've disobeyed, oh, you haven't talked to him in forever. He wants to use that as leverage. The enemy wants to use that as leverage to keep you from believing that God still wants something to do with you, that God still wants your time. He still wants your presence. He loves you. You are his child. You are his greatest creation. So we have to get to a place where we stop believing the lie. Because the lie that the enemy wants to make you believe is that you're doing God a favor by staying away from him. See, the minute that I identified that lie, it took me years to work through it. But I finally reached a place where I came to the conclusion that every time, watch this, every time I decide, it's a decision, it's a choice. Every time I choose to create distance between me and God, watch this, it's not even creating distance. Every time I choose to make choices that are creating distance between me and God, I'm pleasing the enemy. See, you thought that you were doing God a favor by staying away from God. You thought you were doing God a favor by keeping your distance. You thought you were doing God a favor, right? Because our mind tells us, because we think the way that we think about relationships with humans, our mind tells us, oh, if I am not genuinely ready to change, if I'm not genuinely ready to go in a new direction, I should stay away from God. On the contrary, even when your desires are going in opposite direction of God, that's a better time to get close to God, because now you need him even more, right? Because now you have to pray prayers like, Lord, change my desires. Help me, Lord, to want you, because I don't. I remember one time I had to get down on my knees and I told God, I said, God, right now I want this sinful thing more than I want you. That's not too big for him. But I feel like a lot of times we don't want to sit at the throne of our Father in heaven because we don't feel like we're being authentic enough. God would rather you keep coming back to him in an unauthentic way than not come back to him at all. Because if you keep coming back to him, eventually he's going to start to melt off some of those desires. He's going to start to melt off some of those things. See, I think the thing that we forget a lot of times is that Jesus died on the cross for our sins. What does that mean? He knew we were going to sin. So the enemy's biggest trick is convincing us that because of our sins, we shouldn't have nothing to do with God. That doesn't even make sense when God already knew we would sin. That's why he sent his son. That's not a permission slip to live in sin, but it is a clear indicator and clear proof and clear evidence that God's grace, God's mercy has already covered every choice you've made and will make. Once again, that's not a license to sin. That's not a permission slip to go do whatever you want. But there is grace for every time you mess up. Let me say it to you like this. A slip up is not a permission slip to give up. A slip up is not a permission slip to give up. No matter how many times you fall, no matter how many times you struggle, no matter how many times you go back and sleep with that person, no matter how many times you find yourself watching, you know what, no matter how many times you find yourself rolling up, no matter how many times you find yourself wasted, no matter how many times you find yourself popping pills, no matter how many times you find yourself going back to that broken relationship, that abusive relationship, no matter how many times you disappoint God, he's always wanting your presence. He's always wanting your time. He's always wanting to stay connected to you. I'll leave you with this, my friend. In John 15:5, it says, yes, I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Then it goes on to say in verse 6, anyone who does not remain in me is thrown away like a useless branch and withers. Such branches are gathered into a pile to be burned. Then it goes into 7 and gets back good, gets back positive. It says, but if you remain in me and my words remain in you, you may ask for anything you want and it will be granted. Come on. I think a lot of times, listen, the moral of the story is stop believing the lies. Stop believing the lies and make the decision to stay close to God no matter what. This year, like throughout the rest of your life, throughout the rest of this year, make the decision to say, I'm gonna stay close to God no matter what. I don't care what trial, I don't care what tribulation, I don't care how hard it gets, I don't care how much I hate my life, how disappointed I am with my circumstances. I listen, I don't care how much doesn't work out in your way. I don't care how long you feel like you've been waiting. Just keep finding a way to stay close to him no matter what. Because I promise you this, God is the plug. God is the plug. And it is in your best interest, it is in our best interest to always stay connected to him no matter what. Apart from him, we can do nothing. And anything we do achieve apart from him, guess what? We have to sustain it in our own strength. And eventually, you will burn out. And that's with a job, finances, friendships, romantic relationships, marriages. It does not matter. Anything you do, entrepreneur ventures, anything you do apart from God, it doesn't work out. So let's trust him and let's stop trying to do things in our own strength. Let's stop trying to take control and let's trust that he knows what's best because he truly is the plug. No matter what you're going through, remember, God is the plug. Yesterday, today, and forevermore. I hope this encourages you to stay close to God no matter what. Be blessed. Peace.